Man has invented a wide range of engines to assist him in work. Winches, hoists and rams have been around for centuries, providing power to lift and move for countless generations down the ages. But the Turfor machine, a modern tool, is probably the only invention since the wheel to harness power for lifting and pulling. For short distances there is a choice of other Tractel products: Bravo lever hoist, Tralift chain hoist, Ratchak winch hoists and Carroll drum winches. However, for distances over 3 meters the Turfor machine becomes the indispensable choice. For lifting, pulling and handling, lowering, tensioning and guying, singly or in batteries, manually or power operated, the Turfor brings power wherever it is needed. The Turfor machine was invented and patented by Mr. Simon Four at the time of the Second World War. The Turfor uses neither drum nor gearing. The wire rope passes straight through the machine's jaws, which grip and move the wire rope in one direction or another. The Turfor can pull over virtually unlimited distances, giving a particular advantage over other machines. The Tractel Group markets the Turfor in the United States under the trade name Grip Hoist, and in Germany under Greifzug. The general principle is hand to hand, like a man pulling a rope. While one hand pulls, the other one changes position to pull in turn. The two hands represent the two jaws of the Turfor. They grip the wire rope without damaging it, and alternately pull it during forward operation and restrain it during reverse operation. They act by a cam system on the links that control the automatic clamping of the jaws on the wire rope. The jaws are self-locking. The greater the load, the stronger the grip. In operation, one of the jaws is always clamped onto the wire rope to securely hold the load at all times. When operation stops, the effort is automatically spread throughout both jaw blocks, giving additional security to hold the load. To insert the wire rope into the Turfor, or to remove it, there is a two-handed release system so that both jaws may be opened simultaneously. The MaxiFlex wire rope supplied for use with a Turfor is as much an integral part of the mechanism as is the chain of a chain hoist. Any other wire rope, even one which appears to be of the correct size and which initially a Turfor may seem to accept, is definitely not acceptable. The efficiency and safety of the friction grip of the Turfor jaws around the wire rope depend entirely upon the wire rope being of exactly the right diameter and of a construction designed to withstand the immense gripping power of the jaws. The 4-strand MaxiFlex wire rope is not a standard production rope. It has been developed specially to suit the Turfor machine. It is manufactured to the extremely fine tolerances demanded by the Tractel Group, necessary for the efficient and reliable operation of the Turfor mechanism. Putting the Turfor to work is very simple, but you need to follow very carefully the instructions set out in the manual supplied with every machine. There is a range of Turfors, so choose the model which is within the load range and appropriate for the operating conditions. Make sure that the length of wire rope is suitable for the application. Check that the anchor point for the Turfor is capable of taking the load. The Turfor is released and the wire rope inserted with the loose rope pulled through to save time. The machine is anchored and engaged. The telescopic operating lever is fitted. Operation is very easy. The load may be controlled with great accuracy. For reverse operation, just change the position of the operating lever. Notice that whenever you stop operation, the load is held securely. The forward lever of Turfor machines is fitted with shear pins which protect against overloads. These pins shear when too much effort is applied. However, the load is always held securely and reverse operation is still possible to lower the load to a safe place. Replacement shear pins are supplied with each machine so that work may continue once the load has been reduced, or you may consider using a higher capacity Turfor machine or even multiple sheave blocks to give greater lifting capacity. Sheaving may be compared to climbing a mountain. Walking straight up requires a lot of effort. By zigzagging up the mountain you walk further, but you reach the summit with less effort. The pulleys in a multiple sheave block system increase the amount of wire rope travel for the same height of lift, but with less effort. So we can increase the capacity of the Turfor by 2, 3 or 4 times or more, where the only limitation is the number and capacity of the sheave blocks and the length of wire rope. The time taken also increases in the same proportions. The Turfor is particularly suitable for this operation, since there is no limit to the length of wire rope used, contrary to the chain of a chain hoist, which is awkward to replace, and with the limits to the length of chain which may be used compared to the capacity, and contrary to drum winches, which have a maximum effective length of wire rope. The adaptability of the Turfor is particularly illustrated by its suitability for use in accidents and emergency conditions. It is quickly and easily brought to site. We suggest that the Turfor and wire rope be separated for even greater portability. The Turfor will operate perfectly well in any direction and from any position. Just make sure that there is a good anchor point. The Turfor can be operated at a convenient and safe distance from the load, and if necessary a diversification pulley may be used if it cannot operate in a direct line. All these benefits of Turfor machines explain the many applications: lifting or moving machinery, tensioning guy ropes or power lines, removing stuck vehicles, underwater operations, demolition, pulling bridge sections into position, assembly of steel structures and hundreds of other applications. In all these applications we find similar characteristics: long distance of operation or a very long wire rope, site conditions with difficult access, varied operating position, vertical, horizontal, oblique, indirect, accurate and safe operation. The Turfor machine is approved for lifting people. It is the proof, if any is needed, of the confidence which you can put in the real Turfor. Used in conjunction with our block stop fall arrest device, the Turfor is used around the world by many fleet operators for suspended working platforms and cradles, heavy platforms for pre-stressing, chimneys, cooling towers and bridges. For such applications it is the incomparable weight to capacity ratio of the Turfor which makes it suitable for a suspended platform. 100:1 for a Turfor, often compared with 5:1 for a drum winch fitted with its rope. With long heights of lift and very heavy loads, the Tractel Group developed the power-operated Turfor machines, with hydraulic and pneumatic models. These versions offer even greater benefits: fewer operators with one person controlling several machines, no operator fatigue saving time with continuous working, increased safety with operation controlled at a distance, and greater accuracy of operation through the control system. Lifting heavy bulky escalators into position illustrates well the capability of powered Turfors. Space is limited and cranes do not have access. There is a long height of lift and a requirement for precise final positioning, using multiple sheave blocks to increase capacity, and with all the operations of several Turfor machines under the control of one man. Several generations of Turfor machines have succeeded each other since the first Turfor Mines model appeared before 1940. Up to the 1970s there was the T range with its symmetrical jaws, then the TU range with its U jaws, heavy duty and very robust, models of which have been powered. Finally, there is the modern T500 range, lightweight with up-to-date manufacturing methods. 3 lifting capacities make up the range: 800 kilos, 1600 kilos and 3200 kilos. These capacities refer to a direct lift. For pulling applications, the Turfor can move much greater loads depending on the coefficient of friction between the load and the surface on which it stands. For example, concrete, rails or grass. We have an example of hundreds of tons of rolling stock being moved by a single Turfor. The power-operated models are hydraulic, 1600 kilos and 3 tons, and pneumatic, 3 tons. We've already mentioned several accessories, but there is a wide range of items available for use with Turfors. Lightweight opening pulley blocks for diverting the load and multiple sheave blocks for increasing the capacity of Turfors. Mobile anchoring systems where there is no fixed point, tracked ancrage to screw into the ground, plate anchors with spikes to hammer into the ground, or Corso beam clamps to attach to overhead or vertical beams. Connie clamp wire rope grippers to extend the length of wire ropes. Wire rope reelers to store the wire rope, keeping it clean and free of kinks. A kit for the armed services and 4x4 vehicles. Slings, shackles and other lengths of wire rope to suit the application. Tractel has always considered that the manufacture of Turfor is equivalent to that of safety equipment. As a result, the machines have been designed with very high coefficients of operation, well above standards and national requirements. Manufacture is closely monitored at every stage, and every machine is individually tested before packing and dispatch. The Turfor has been copied but never equalled. From our tests, it is clear that the overall quality of the copies to be found on the market is very far from our own standards. The Turfor is distributed throughout the world by Tractel Group companies, agents and distributors. The Turfor is also marketed under the trademark of Greifzug in Germany and Griphoist in the United States. Over the years, the Turfor has established such a standing and reputation that is now a byword for quality, efficiency and reliability. Remember the main advantages of the Turfor machine: any height of lift or length of pull, portability, operate in any position and in any direction, exceptional mechanical advantage, and multiple sheaving to increase capacity. Get to know the Turfor yourself. It's the right tool for the job.